First item on the agenda would be to consider the minutes from the Common Council meeting of the 27th. Any questions or comments on the council minutes as presented?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve by Kissling. Second.
Second amendment.
Second by McFerrin. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Claims for the month were also available for your review on the docket prior to the meeting. Any questions or comments on the claims as presented? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the claims?
Motion made.
Motion by Ware.
I'll second it.
Second by Bounds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Claims are approved. Next item would be to consider approval of a candidate for the Huntingburg Volunteer Fire Department. The candidate's resume is in your docket. The candidate was approved for nomination by the Board of Works at their previous meeting. The name of Glenn Landstrom. Chief Pat Berg is here, and you want to just mention
Sure.
the process that you've gone through to bring this to nomination.
Yeah, well, like the mayor said, we took it to the Board of Public Works, and they recommended to bring to you guys for, I guess you guys would put him on the approved list of candidates for the department, so we could swear him in next month if you guys so choose to. And just a little bit, let you know where we're at. We were at 29, but we did, I don't know if you guys all know, but I know Glenn does, but we've lost two of our young guys. The one of the young man, he joined the military. You know, he wasn't sure what he wanted to do with, in life yet, so he's joined the military. And the second one moved to Michigan and is taking a full-time EMT job, and he's got a really good shot. He was already interviewing to be on a full-time department up there, full-time fire department. So those two guys, so we've lost them. So that's just a little information, so we're out on numbers. And this Glenn Landstrom here would put us back to 28. So he does have, Glenn does have training, so I mean, with a little bit of our training we have to do for the city, he'll be active pretty quick because he has his firefighter 1-2. He's got hazmat ops and all that stuff's already taken. He's finished with. So,
Good deal.
So, you guys have any other questions about him or anything? Or
Any questions about the candidate? Do I have a motion to approve Glenn Landstrom as a qualified candidate for the Huntingburg Volunteer Fire Department?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Kissling, second by Dubon. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Chief.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, as you may be aware of, we are in the process of seeking a blight elimination program grant for the property on Main Street, just north of the railroad tracks, commonly known as Dairyland. That was a process that we had begun, but when the changes in COVID, the funding from the Office of Community and Rural Affairs, they've redirected that program to other areas for COVID response. It's expected that program will come back in 2021, and while we're going to be seeking as a grant administrator to do that program, this is contingent upon there being an option acquired by the city with the current landowner. I know that Bill and there's been documents sent to the current property owners to secure that option, and we're waiting for that response. Anything further on? I mean,
No, the property's been appraised as you approved, and offer was made to acquire an option based upon that the average of the two appraisals, and we are waiting a response.
So this would be an action to allow us to publish a notice for firms to submit to be a grant administrator. You noticed, I think in your packet, there's a list of firms that we will be sending certified letters to, as they are all qualified grant administrators within our region. There's a requirement that we have certain minorities contacted for their opportunity to participate in this. If it is approved by the the council. The notice will be published locally, and then they'll have the response is due back to the city of Huntingburg by December 8th, and at the Common Council's regular meeting on the 8th, those bids would be open, and a decision would be made on the grant administrator, and all fees of this would be covered by the grant and are subject to the option being secured by that time. So, any questions on the notice that's to be published? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the advertising of a request for proposal for a grant administration for the blight elimination program.
Motion made.
Motion by McFerrin.
I'll second it.
Second by Bounds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Dipple will make the publication, and the letters will be delivered to the potential candidates there. Thank you. Next up, we have consideration of the salary or the ordinance for elected officials for the year 2021. You have in your packet the ordinance that was passed last year to show you the levels of pay for the elected officials, the members of the council, and the mayor and clerk treasurer. And this would be the time for discussion on what those rates should be going for the 2021 salary ordinance. So open to discussion from the council.
This is for the elected officials.
This is elected officials only.
Okay. And we did give the city employees 1.5%.
Right. And just one thing I did want to confirm that as for planning processes, it was part of the budget hearing, but I think it would be, if we want to, it would be appropriate to have a motion to approve a across the board 1.5% salary increase for all city employees, which fits in with as proposed in the budget. So if you won't mind, I'd like to entertain a motion to that effect.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Kissling.
I'll second it.
Second by Ware. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. And now it comes to the matter of the elected officials. And just want to know what the council would desire is on that.
I have no problem giving the mayor and the clerk treasurer the 1.5% like we have the rest of the city employees. As far as a council member, I would be fine with not taking a raise, but it's a majority rules, I guess.
I would go along with Glenn. How do you guys feel? You all right?
I agree. I think we have to keep the mayor and clerk treasurer positions salaries competitive, and I mean, obviously both are and have done a great job, and going forward, I think that recruitment of people into those positions, is qualified people, good candidates, is dependent on that to a certain extent. So I think that's a good move, and I would agree with that.
So that it would be a 1.5.
Tom, can you refresh my memory on the budget hearings? We approved a 1.5. That was the discussion, a 1.5. Was there any, and part of that was up to 1.5? Is that how we did that? Was there
It was put in the budget at 1.5.
Yeah. Usually we've done an increase plus
Plus a performance
performance. But
evaluation.
I think this year we should just forego that and go straight 1.5%, but that's my opinion.
That's what I want to be refreshed on. That is what we decided. I thought that's what it was, but I know that every year for the last 4 or 5 years we had both
Performance,
sides.
right.
Yeah. Okay, and I want to remember that we did decide that we would just forego that this year.
Correct.
Right.
Okay, I want to get that out there. All right.
In previous years, there had always been, maybe, I think we had budgeted up to 3%, some years 2.5%.
Usually 3%, and then we came back and discussed.
A percentage of that was based on the performance
Right.
reviewed by their supervisor.
Supervisor, so.
Okay.
And I think the discussion at the budget hearings was that 1.5% across the board, kind of a cost of living wage increase for all employees, and forego anything above that because of the budget conditions this year. But and I know that was appreciated by our employees, that they're continuing to receive some increase and rather invest as much as we can in our employees and as part of our budget as we can. So that was where we were. So I'm trying. I did the number. I want confirmation from the clerk treasurer. Would you have, based on the split for the mayor and the clerk treasurer, would that be 552.62?
I had 552.63.
552.63. Yeah, that's rounds up. That's right.
But it probably, no, it doesn't matter. An even number is better.
That's pretty close.
To divide 5 ways.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Sometimes.
is.
Sometimes. But we can handle it.
Okay.
And then the council, again, we haven't had a motion yet, but is any further discussion?
Okay, so the discussion is that all elected officials, all salaried officials, I'm sorry, will get 1.5%, but we're excluding the council.
That's fine with me, unless you guys want to discuss it further, I don't care.
Yep, correct. I'm fine with
The 1.5 would be 187.09 if you went back versus 184.32 four times.
Can you think about something?
Just getting the numbers in my head.
Okay.
I don't have a strong opinion either way. I know that we've always talked about keeping everything current so we have good people, get interest by qualified individuals, when terms come up.
Right.
So I would be in favor of 1.5% right down the list.
Yeah, it would be about $165 per year for all 5 of you.
That much? Okay.
For total? Total.
For all 5 of you.
$165.
That was my reasoning too. It's a very small amount.
You're right, we've normally done it every year, but I'm fine with it either way.
I'm fine either way.
It's not that large of an amount,
No.
so it's not going to break the city.
It's $30.
Phil made a really good point my first year on the council. In fact, the second meeting I attended, we had to make this same vote. And I remember Phil addressing that issue by saying that by deferring a pay raise to the council, you're also deferring a much more difficult decision down the road for another council, a group of council members who, in order to keep that salary competitive and attractive, they're going to have to make a really big increase at some point. So rather than 1.5%, 2.5% each year, when that gets too far behind, you might have to increase it 10 or 20% to catch it back up to make it worth the attention of qualified candidates to serve on the council. So I've never forgot that, Phil. I don't know if you knew how profound that was.
Well, I kind of learned by experience. I saw, a long time ago, saw past councils keep deferring it, and understandably, they were trying to be conservative and trying to be, frugal. But at some point, council had to make that tough decision because it was just getting way out of line. And it wasn't easy. There was a lot of discussion, a lot of controversy over increasing a 10% increase to the council that particular year. So, yeah, it's better to keep up with it.
Yeah, I don't want it to get contentions for someone that follows down the road that has to make this decision. It's like, oh my goodness, you know. Yeah, it's a bad appearance, but it's not necessarily that council's fault. It'll be the previous council's fault for not keeping it up. Just like anything else, you gotta do maintenance. So, I don't know. If you're looking for a motion, I'll make one.
The motion being that
I would make a motion that
We have to be salary ordinance number 2020,
we're in the 30s now.
31.
2020-31, and it would be proposed to be a 1.5% increase for elected officials over the ordinance of the 2019 ordinance. Would that be an appropriate motion? Is that your motion, Mr. McFerrin?
That would be my motion to make
Board
a-
increase for elected officials.
An ordinance, for the ordinance fixing salaries for all elected officers of the city of Huntingburg for the year 2021.
All right. We have a motion by McFerrin. Have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Bounds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. We can suspend the rules and consider this ordinance on the same evening that it was introduced. If there is a unanimous vote to do so, do we have a motion to suspend the rules?
Make that motion.
Motion by Kissling. Second by Dubon. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries by unanimous votes. We can consider ordinance number 2020-31, an ordinance fixing salaries for elected officials for the city of Huntingburg for the year 2021. At this time, do we have a motion to accept?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Bounds,
Second the motion.
second by McFerrin. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Mr. Dipple?
Kissling.
Aye.
Bounds.
Aye.
Farron.
Aye.
Blessinger. Oh,
Nope. Well,
Devon. Cut and paste. Devon.
Aye.
Ware.
aye.
5 ayes, no nays.
5 ayes, no nays. Ordinance number 2020-31 is hereby adopted.
Should we touch on the other city employees versus the fire department? There won't be a pay increase on the runs and duties, right, Chief?
No.
We
No,
don't-
that wasn't
No, it wasn't.
discussed at budget
No,
time.
No, I just want to make sure that wasn't included in the 1F.
No.
Okay.
Anything from Mr. Schneider this evening?
Nothing.
Anything from Mr. Dipple?
I do have your certifications for not contracting and not being, have any nepotism going on.
As you recall, elected council members every year have to certify that they have not entered into a contract with the city, nor do they supervise any of their immediate family in paid positions in the city.
Dave, 9?
10.
10.
Thank you.
Going out. Tom, anything else for the council?
That's it.
Any other items from the council?
I'd
Okay.
just like to, I guess, have two sides of the story. One, congratulations, Mayor, for your appointment to the higher office. And the sad side of that is that we lose you, because you've done an outstanding job. I know there's a lot of things move forward in this town that wouldn't have happened had you not grabbed the steering wheel. I know there's been good sides and bads from a lot of the people, but I think for the most part, you've done a great job. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Got one more meeting to go.
I know. But I probably won't be at that meeting, so I just want to get that out.
Thank you, Councilman, appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Any items from the floor?
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Second from where? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.